Have you created a responsive form in Power Apps? If not, then this video will be very much helpful for you because I have explained here how to build it from the scratch. That is taking from a blank canvas app to adding all our required containers such as vertical and horizontal containers and including our fields. I have shown you how to create a feedback form from the scratch. It will have a few fields such as first name, last name, mobile number, email ID and a feedback box, and then finally a submit button. On click of this, also user can save the data to a SharePoint list. I have explained that also. Here also I have explained a few important properties that you should take care while designing responsive forms. This video might be little lengthy, but this will be helpful because you will get a complete idea about designing responsive forms in Power Apps. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Vijay and I am a Microsoft MVP specialized in Power Apps and Power Automate including SharePoint. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel so that every time I'll make such kind of useful videos in Power Apps, Power Automate, especially in Power Platform, SPFX and SharePoint, you will get notified. I'll see you inside the video. Okay, we will now see how we can build a responsive Power Apps Canvas app using containers step by step. For this, what I'll do is I will open a running app. I will show you how it is working. And then the same thing we will build it from the scratch. So for this, I open make.powerapps.com, which is the Power Apps homepage. You can click on apps and then this is the form that I built. I will run it and show you. Now you can see here our app is opening, which is a responsive app. And then you see here, you can put the details here. For example, suppose I will say Vijay and then I will add this. I will add the mobile number, the email ID, and then I'll put my feedback. You can see here I added every information. I can click on submit. So you can see the feedback has been submitted successfully. The feedback is submitted to this list. Here I have a SharePoint list. You can see this one feedback list. If I'll just refresh it, you will see the data entered here. Now this one also, if I'll reduce this, you can see here this is responsive. So now we will build the same form step by step. So before that, let's first understand what is this responsive meaning. Responsive meaning, this is the app which will automatically adjust the layout based on the screen size or the device on which user is viewing that application. Whether let's say you are opening in a desktop browser, how we have, or a laptop browser, how we have opened here, or you can open that using a tablet or mobile devices. Responsive app always will look clean and structured. That is what is the responsive meaning. So in the older version of Power Apps, usually we use the fixed X and Y coordinate to position the controls. Now that is fine if you are targeting to a particular devices. But if you want to build something and use it in multiple devices, in those cases we cannot use this fixed coordinate controls. In those cases we can use containers which will be auto layout containers. They are specially horizontal containers and vertical containers are there. They can handle the positioning by itself. There is also a grid container is there. I'll keep that for a separate video. So in this video, we will focus purely on horizontal and vertical containers which will be used throughout this application. So now I will close this application. We will build an application from the scratch. I will open in another tab. You can create your application. You can see once you click on create from blank, select this. Now here choose responsive. Now you can also target this tablet size, mobile size. Again, that will become specific to the device that you are selecting here. But we will create here, or we will use the template which is responsive. So I select this. Now when it will create this app, this will add some containers which is by default responsive. Now you can see in this screen, top screen, there is screen 1. Inside that there is a header container, main container and footer container. You might not require the same layout every time. So if I will just again show you our form or the feedback form that we created. Here I have 1 row, 2 row and 3 row. There is also one more row for submit. And for each row, you see there are first name and last name here, mobile number, email ID here, feedback here. And then there is a submit button which is on the right side. So even if this is a responsive screen, to make the layout that we want, we need to add some containers so that this layout will come, which is our required layout. So first thing what I will do here is I will delete these containers. Only I will have the screen container 1. So which will be the main container. So let's say if you don't have any container here, you have created a blank screen, then you can add a vertical container, and this is the container which is the main screen container. By default, Power Apps added this one, but this is a vertical container which is there on our screen. If you are adding from the scratch, then you can add some properties like XY position to 00, width you can make it to parent.width, height you can make it to parent.height, padding you can make it to, let's say there is 16 pixel is there, you can make it to 20 pixel for all side of it. I made it 20 for every top button and left and right. I made it 20 pixel. And if you look at the height and width of this particular container, if you'll say width, this is parent.width, height is also parent.height. I will rename this container as con main. So this will be our main container. Inside that, according to our structure, we will keep adding different containers. So here, before proceeding, the parent that we say here, right, parent.height or parent.width, what does meaning by parent? So parent in this Power Apps refers to the parent element of the current control. So if this is the main container, this is the parent, which is the screen one. So when we are saying height, parent.height, it will take the screen's height. So that is what we say parent. Now we will build the first row where there will be first name and last name. This one we are going to build. So for this, what I will do here is, in this one, first I will add a horizontal container. So I will select the main container because we want this to be inside this main container. I will go to insert, and if I'll just search for container, you will see horizontal container. Now this container one, you can see it here. I will give it container row 1 because this is going to be our first row. So now inside this first row, we will first work on the first name. Here if you'll see, there is a label and then there is a text box where user can enter the first name. So for this, I will select this container row 1. Inside this, I will add a vertical container here. So I will select this. So I will rename this as container. This is for first name, and ensure that this flexible width will be on. So here I need two controls. One is to display the label. The other one is to take the input. So I will select this first name. I will go to insert. I will take one text, and same way I'll go to the same container. I will select this. I will take a text input. These two things we require. So for the text input, I will rename to txt first name, and for the label, I will change this text to first name. You can make some alignments or font size increase, bold, you can do those things. Next we will do for the last name here. Next I will select our row 1, which is our container row 1. Inside this I will add one more container here, which will be a vertical container. So I will select this. I will rename this again to container last name, and inside this I will add same text, one text for last name, another one is for to collect the txt last name. So I'll add these two controls. Now what you can do here is, you can also make it little bit on formatting these controls. For example, txt first name, I will go to the width property, and instead of 320, I will say parent.width. So it will take the full layout here. And also you can make the border radius. So there is a property here, you can see border radius. You can add something here. Let's say I put 8. Same, I will go to this control. Here I will make the width as parent.width. So it will take the entire width of the container, parent container. So I'll say parent.width, and I can make for this also the border radius as 8. For the text box, if you want to provide a hint text, for example, you want to say enter first name, then you can go to the default property here. So I'll go to the default and I will add something here. For example, enter first name. Same thing I will do for the other text box. I'll go to the same default property. I will make here enter last name. And now you can see here both is showing like this. If you'll preview this, now we can see this is how it is appearing. So same way, now next we will go to the next row. Here if you'll see, we have the same mobile number and email ID. So this process is same for both the things. For example, first one, here I will add one more container like how we did for row 1. So we will do this thing for row 2. So I'll select the main container here. Here I will add one more horizontal container here, and in this I will give the, I'll rename it to con row 2, and inside this we will add two vertical container how we did in the above And inside this I will add two more containers here. And also if you want, you can fix the height here. For both the things, if you want, you can give a height here. For example, I can go to row 1, I can set the height. Let's say the height is probably I'll put 80, and for row 2 I will go here, I will put the height as 80. So for row 2 also we have to add two vertical container here, for this one and for this one. I will select this, I will go here, I will search for container, the vertical container here, first one, and this one I will rename to CON mobile. And the next one I'll select the row, and here I will insert again, and I will add one more vertical container, and this one will be container email. Now I will select the mobile container. Here we need both the controls, as I said, one text input. For email also we require both the things, text and text input. For both the controls, text input controls, I will make the width as parent.width. So instead of 320, it will be parent.width. This one also I will set width as parent.width. And you can also change the default property. For example, here I will say enter email ID, and for this one I will say enter mobile number. And I will rename both the controls here. One is txt mobile, so I will say txt mobile, and the other one is for txt email. So our now second row is over. You can see the structure. Now I will select the main container and we will add the third row. So for the third row, if you'll see here, we have only one multi-line text box. So in this case, I will just add one container here. So I will select a vertical container here for the third row, and in this I will select on row 3. So we will get to know that this is for our third row, and in this case I can set the height if I want. For example, here I will change the height to 200 pixel, let it be. And in this case I want two control. One is a text, the other one will be a text input, and in the text input I will select this as multi-line. And for this multi-line control, I can change the height width property. For example, I'll go to the height. Instead of 32, I will give 150. And the width, I can take even parent.width. So I'll go to the width property here. I will make it to parent.width, how we did it for all the controls. So now for this text, I will change here to feedback. So now our third row is over. Here I will just rename the control. It will be txt feedback. In the third row, we will have only one button. You can see this one. So for this, what I will do here is I will go to the main container. I'll add one more horizontal container here. So in this, if you'll see, I'll rename it to on row 4, and inside this I will insert one button here, and I want to rename it to button submit. I will change this text to button submit, text to submit here. Now we can change a little bit for this button. For example, in this case, if I'll select this button, I make the height width. So I will say the width, let's say it will be 150, and I can even make the height. So let's say 50, and you can also have a border radius here. So border radius, let's say 10. So a curve will come here, and I want this to be right aligned. So I'll select the parent container for this, and I will make it to, the alignment will make from the right. So now you can see here it is coming on the right side. So if I'll just run now, you see here this is how it is coming in the browser. If I'll select a mobile device, you can see here it is coming like this. All the controls, everything is clearly visible on this. And if you want to check in tablet, you can see here it is coming like this. So this is, you can see this is fully responsive. Now we will add some logic to this submit button. So whenever user will click on this submit, it will show a message that thank you for your feedback, and it will clear all the text box. So before running that, I would like to introduce you this Power Platform training. If you are interested to learn Power Platform from the beginning, then you can check out this. We have different modules for Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages and Copilot Studio. So the entire training course is there which will help you to learn Power Platform. And if you want to learn the entire thing, you can sign up for the entire course bundle. With that, you will also get SharePoint training course, SPFX training course, and also two solution packages that you will get. One is Power Platform solution packages and one is SPFX solution packages. You will get that with this, and this will be entirely lifetime access and will help you to get a job also. So I'll put this link in the video description. You can have a look at it. Now I will go to our form here. I will select this button and on select I will write a formula here. So I will select the on select property here, and in this now it is false. I will just copy this formula. You can see here notify, thank you for your feedback. Then it will show a successful green color background message, and then it will reset all the text boxes here. We have txt, first name, last name, mobile, everything it will reset. So I'll copy this and I will put over here. Now this is our formula that you wrote here. Now you can save this. You can give a name for it. I will say training feedback and then save, or you can even preview it. And now you can see here I can put here Vijay Sahu. I will give a mobile number here, email ID, and then this is my feedback I can put here. And once you click on submit, you see here it gave me a successful message, and then also it clear everything. You can also save this into a SharePoint list. If you'll see here, this is my SharePoint site. You can see I have a SharePoint item here. You can see list is there, feedback list, which is having a title column, last name, mobile number, email, feedback, which you require for this. I will delete this item so that we'll have a blank list here. Now we can add this logic on this submit button where we provided now this logic. Now for this, I'll go to the data. I will add a data source here. I will select SharePoint. So first one you can see here. I will select this. Next, it will show me which site you want to connect. I will select Power Platform FAQs. On this, our list is feedback list. I will select this. I'll say connect. So once it is selected and connected, I'll go to the button here. I'll go to the preview. I'll select this button on select. Now I will write a formula here which will take these values and save into the SharePoint list. So for this we can use the patch function. Let me show you the formula, patch function, and this is our list name, and you can see default feedback list, and inside this our title will have the value of txt first name dot text. Last name will contain from txt last name, same way for mobile number, email, and feedback. Then we are notified, and then finally we are resetting this. I will copy this. I will save this formula here. Then I will save this, and now I will run it. What I will do here is I will say Vijay. I will add a mobile number here, my email ID, and the feedback. I'll click on submit. Now you can see here your feedback has been submitted successfully and everything is blank here. Now for this, I'll go here. I'll go to our SharePoint list, and now you can see here the data has been saved. Few things you can see here, this text I forgot to rename it, but that you can do it. So this is how we can create a responsive form. I hope you got an idea about it. If you want similar kind of videos, then subscribe to the channel so that every time I'll make videos like this on SharePoint, Power Platform, and SPFX, you will get notified. Thank you and have a nice day.